Hi everyone, it's your boy Root, and I came across this article with a very funny title, but yeah, essentially like you are able to build Claude Code in 200 lines. This really interested me because like I've been an avid user of Claude Code. I use it on a daily basis. So yeah, I want to build one for myself. This is the second time I'm recording this video because the first time I recorded it completely, my iPhone camera gave out, storage got full, so it stopped recording like in 2-3 minutes, and I was here talking about all the things, exploring and building the whole thing, building it again for the sake of this video. But again, it's a good thing to have. I went through this in a blog. Mainly, what this document talks about on a very high level is there are like a few actors on this where you as a user sends a message, and the second actor is LLM, which is like deciding on your text and the context it has to decide what tools it should call. What's a tool, you might ask? So LLM only generates text. For it to interact with the outside world, it needs a tool. If you ask LLM time, the current time, it will not be able to give you the current time unless it has like some tool to get the current. Similarly, weather, similarly a question about your code, for example, like that LLM has not been trained on. So the LLM needs some tools to like view your code and respond to your query. Then you need your program which executes that tool call loop. So LLM cannot execute the tool call. Rather, LLM will just tell you, hey, I need this tool call to be executed, and you see that okay, hey, LLM requires this information, this tool call to be executed. So let me go ahead and so that's the program that we will be building, and the result is sent back to the LLM, and the LLM continues. So the actors are just you, the LLM, and the program that you have. Like that program is typically called the harness. For example, Claude Code is a harness, Gemini CLI is a harness, anti-gravity is a harness, cursor is a harness. So all those things are harnesses. Okay, so what we are going to do in this video is to build our own harness. I'm going to call it root code. Yeah, very original name. What are the tools for a coding it? So we can have read files, list files, edit files. So these are the very common tools that you need. You can give it a little bit more capability by giving it tools like grep, bash, web search, and all those. But one great thing about bash is a very powerful. So with bash you can do almost anything that you would want, like everything else that is mentioned here: read files, list files, edit files, grep, web search. All these things can be done in bash with just command. If you want to give only one tool to your agent, be able to do almost everything, then bash is the right tool for it. But there is a caveat to using bash. That is, bash is super powerful. LLM can decide to do like delete your home directory, like delete your photos, videos because of X random reason, right? If you just give bash and if you do not give sufficient permission, it can be catastrophically disastrous for your system that you're running the application. Yeah, so that's it. Before like going deep diving into the code here, let's do some Google searches, build our own, like rather than following a tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a folder for my project. So I'm going to place it inside my area 51 root code. Okay, so let me go into root code, area 51 root code. Perfect. And let's initialize the project. So this is going to be a Python project. So let me initialize it with UV. So UV is the package manager that I use. So UV init will initialize the project for me. So once I have this, let me open this up in VS Code. So I have the VS Code session open, and let's go to main.py. So there is just a print hello world, and it is calling main. Perfect, that is fine. And let's open up the terminal and let's do some installation. So what am I going to do? So let's install some packages by which we can communicate with the LLM. So what am I going to use? I'm going to use LangChain. It's an industry standard. So let's use UV add LangChain and LangChain core. Yep, perfect. We have added both. Now what we need to do is okay, so let's before we import LangChain, right, like let's go with the structure of the program, right? First you need inputs, right? Well and good. Then we need to define the model, right? Define model definition. What model am I going to use? You can use Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, anything like that, but currently I'm going to use Kimi K2.5. Kimi K2.5. This is my preferred choice, but yeah, you can use anything. The only thing that would change is like this model definition, but everything else stays the same. So once you have the model defined, you need to create the tool. Create a tool and bind create tool and give it to bind it to agent. Okay, bind it to agent. Yeah, you just have to create the tool and bind it to the agent. Now once the agent is binded, right, create system prompt. So you create the system prompt so that like you tell the AI that hey, you are root code, you are supposed to help edit code and all those things. Now loop to get user input, tool execution, and agent response. Perfect. So this is all that we need. So these are the, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps that we need to do to get Claude Code or root code built. So let's start with the imports. So for imports, let's talk about like model definition. So whatever we need, that's what we import, right? So for model definition, we're going with Kimi K2.5, and I already have an API key generated in the platform.moonshot.ai. So where I went to the API key section and like created a new API key. So I'll be pasting that API key in the .env file. I'll be creating a new env file and then pasting that API key here. Moonshot API key, right? I think that works. So we have saved it. Perfect. Now we need to just define the model. So let's go ahead, moonshot lang chain, right? Okay, so it will tell me like, as a developer, I don't remember all the syntaxes, but yeah, like whenever you need to reference syntaxes, you just do a Google search. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, I need to install LangChain Moonshot. So let me add that, uv add. Okay, LangChain Moonshot has been added. So let's see the syntax of it. Okay, so you need this. Oh, pasted in the wrong place. I should paste it here. Let me remove these. So we have imported the LangChain Moonshot, and I'm going to call this model, and thinking equal to false and temperature equal to 0.6. These values are fine. Maybe like increase or decrease the temperature, experiment with it. So now we have created the model. So if you're using a different model, right? Like if you're using Gemini, if you're using Anthropic, if you're using OpenAI, the only thing that is going to change in this file, in this whole thing, is this particular thing, like just the import and just this section of it. So nothing else is going to change. So just like how I search for LangChain Moonshot, you can search for LangChain OpenAI. That will give you the same thing. So let's say LangChain OpenAI, right? So you just click on the first item, and then it should tell you, okay, you have to install this, and this is how you generate it, right? Like this is how you add this. Okay, perfect. That is fine. So let's create a tool. So to create a tool, I would need, so I have to define add tool, and then def execute bash, and then I'll take in a command as a string and get the output. So it actually like auto completed this for me, but what it is doing is, let me just move the import to the top. So what it is doing is, it is kind of just creating a subprocess run command with shell equal true, capture output, text out, everything is true, and then it's just giving me the standard output, like whatever, once you execute the command, whatever the result is, that is being returned here, right? So I need to import this. I don't remember the import for this, so let me go ahead and search for it. Go LangChain tools. Yeah, here it is. I just need to import it like this. Perfect. Now, yeah, the import is solved. And I don't want the AI to be able to run anything. I want to be always in the control here. So what I will do here is, user input equal to input. Agent wants to run command. Do you want to proceed? Yes or no? So I just want to say Y or N, right? So whatever command that the agent wants to run, I am going to output, hey, user want to run this command or execute this command. Do you want to proceed? If yes, if I only press Y, then the command would execute, or else it will not execute. So what I want to do here is if user input not equal to Y, then I want to return command execution was cancelled by the user. So this is what the LLM will see, right? Okay, perfect. Now I need to create the system prompt. So let me say messages equal to, I'll keep an array of messages because all the history, all the message history needs to be like stored in a array, and then this array would be passed into the LLM every time we do an invoke, right? Because that's how LLM would work. It needs to have the whole context for it to respond properly, or if you just have the last message, it would not know like what we said in the beginning, right? So it needs to have the whole information for it to respond accurately for the latest question that we ask. So system message, I would say, yeah, so instead of the content, what we will do here is you are root code, a coding agent, helps user code locally on the machine, use tools to look at the current project. Rather than to say look at the current project, work the current project. Okay, so this is what I'm giving as a system message. System message is not imported, so let's import it. I don't remember this, the usage where it is. What's the import path for system message? Show me. Okay, yes, here it is. LangChain code.messages. Oh yeah, code.messages, human message. Perfect. That's what we need next. Yeah, now we have the system message. Let's start the loop, right? While true, I would say user input equal to input u space. So you are getting an input from the user, and then you are appending the message as a human message to the messages section, and then you are calling the LLM. So LLM call model.invoke. I named it as model, right? Yeah. model.invoke messages. Okay, I forgot to bind the tool actually. So I would bind the tool here right after the definition. So model equals to model dot bind tools, and then I'm giving it execute bash. So there could be multiple tools, like if you're creating read file, write file, and other files tools, you can just create those functions here, and then just give it as a tool here, right? So let me minimize this. So that's what we would want. Okay, and this would give a response. And you want to check if response has tool calls. So did the LLM tell me like I need to do tool calls? That's what we want to check here. If the LLM tells me that I need to do tool calls, then I need to iterate over the tool calls and do the execution, right? So it's auto completed it for me. So what I'm doing is tool call dot responses. For every tool call, I'm executing model dot execute tool call. Okay, this is wrong. This auto completion was totally wrong. So what we need to do is tool name equal to tool call dot of name, and then tool args is tool call dot args, and if tool name is execute bash, that's when you have to do tool response equal to execute bash. You cannot call execute bash directly because it's a tool. You have to invoke the tool as well. So you execute bash dot invoke tool args, and then you get the tool response. You have to instead of appending it like this, what I would say is I would remove this, else a tool response equal to unknown tool, right? And then we will append it to the messages dot append tool message. So there is something called as tool message. Yeah. So content tool message, tool name equal to tool name, tool args equal to tool arg. There is a tool call ID, that's a tool call ID. Perfect. So now, okay, there is some typos, messages, and I need to import this. Let me import that here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this was not closed. Why? Okay, yeah, this is a syntactical error. This should work, and we need a comma here. Perfect. And I think this is okay. I'm appending it to the messages. I need to call the LLM now. Model.invoke messages response equals and print response.content. Okay. I think this would suffice. I might be missing something. Let's try run this. Like there might be errors, so we might come back. But one thing that I remember is we need to add the API key here as well. So API key equals let's open import a .env or from .env import load.env load.env. Okay, so this will load the .env file. But looks like it's not installed. Let me check what's the actual package name. Yeah, python.env. I'll just copy this. uv add. Okay, we have the python.env as well. Now os.get env moonshot API key. Perfect. And I need to import os as well. Import os. Perfect. I think we have all that we need here now. So let me just run uv run main.py. Hue. Create a block for me with HTML. Okay, it might just give me the response back. I have to tell it to write it a file. But yeah, let's see if it is able to do that. Okay, it errored out. Looks like it tried to do a tool call, but there was some issues with the tool call. So let me check the tool call again. So I remember something like we might not need this. And looking at tool message, right? If you see this, like they have asking for a tool call ID, type, artifact, status, current args, and all those things. But tool name is something that they don't ask. Like it's not tool name, rather it would be name. Yeah, they ask for names here. So it's not tool call tool name. It's just name and args. So name and args. I think that could be it, but we don't know. How many files do I have? So this should ideally execute the bash script and then tell me an error. Okay, looks like there is some issue with the upstream. Kimi K 2.5 itself is failing. That is not a good news. Okay, after failing for some time, now it succeeded. Its agent wants to execute this particular item. Yes. Okay, then again, there's a failure stating that tool call ID is not found. Okay, that is a little bit concerning. You have the response. Is the response, okay, I think the response is not added back to the messages. So messages, yeah, this response has the tool call definitions and everything. So ideally this messages should have this response available so that the LLM knows, like the framework itself would know that this tool call was requested in the first place, right? We are adding the response, but not the request is not being added. So that's the root cause of the problem. And now we have this response here. Ideally, we should add this to the messages as well. Messages.append response. So yes, okay. So we need to add the user messages to the history as well as the LLM's responses to the history as well, or else it won't work. So let's try this now. How many files do I have? It's the LLM provider issue again. I've not been seeing this quite often. This is the first time I'm seeing this issue actually. This is crazy. Not sure if they are getting DDoS or something like that. How many LLM? Oh, sorry. Files do I have? Let's DDoS them from our side as well, or DOS them from our side. It's not distributed denial of service. Okay. Maybe I'll try moving to a different LLM provider. Okay, now I'm on my platform.openai.com where we are going to create a new API key. So create a new secret key, root code create. Okay, let me copy this, go back to env file. Let's close this out. Open AI API key. I don't know whose API key this. Oh yeah, it's the same thing as above. But yeah, we have the OpenAI API key now, and we need to change it to the OpenAI integration. So we literally open this like little bit back. So I'll just import the chat OpenAI and replace the chat OpenAI here. And let's go with GPT-5 Nano. That is fine. GPT-5 Nano. And instead of Moonshot, I'll just open OpenAI. So this is the benefit of using something like LangChain, where you can switch the model with very little effort. Right? Okay, let's try this out now. Let's see if this works. How many files do I have? And it should tell me, like, it should try to execute a tool call. Let's see if that works. So it wants to execute this command. Let's see if there is anything dangerous here. Looks like no. Okay, let me see, give yes. And now the command would execute. The response is being sent back to the LLM. And now the LLM should respond to me saying that, hey, there are 3000 X files recursively. So it is like looking at all the packages as well. So let me ask, create a new index.html file with an clock. So what I'm asking it to do is like create a HTML file with a clock so that I can see it create a new code rather than just interacting with bash, right? So with bash, it should be able to create this new code. Let's hope that works. Okay, so it gave me a command back. It is using cat to index.html, and then it is going to insert everything. Perfect. I'm good with this. Okay, I think the file is created. Now I should just get the response back. Good. So let me see Python HTTP or Python-m http.server. Okay. And let's go to localhost 8000. That's where the server would run. Yeah, 8000. And let's see if getting a clock. No, GPT-5o disappointed. The code that it wrote did not work. So let's ask it. Hey, if there was an error. Okay, that makes sense. Followed by tool messages. There was something wrong with the tool calls. So I'm going with GPT-5. Let's see if that is making anything better. Review index.html. It's not working. Okay, perfect. I think it has created. Let me refresh. Yes, okay, it has created the a digital clock. Now let's ask it to make it hacker themed. Let's see what it does. If it, like, what I'm trying to do here is like it is able to create a new file, but is it able to edit an existing file? That's what I'm testing now. Okay, it's doing some edits. Let's see how it is doing the edit. Okay, basically it's replacing the whole file rather than editing parts of it, which is fine, which is one way of doing it. But if we want to optimize this, we would do something like a patch. So it will send us a diff of like in the files that it wanted to edit, and then that patch would be the actual edits that would happen. So yeah, patch tool could be something that we would send. Okay, something failed, but okay, it did not work. Okay, time to get help from AI on why this is happening. I get this error with this code. A subtle bug in the code, okay. Partial handling. Okay. Got it. So they can chain loops. So sometimes it will have a response, and so we need to have like a while true kind of a situation here for loops as well. Okay, got it. Okay. So let's do that again. Make the index.html hacker themed. So this would be doing multiple tool calls. So first it would need to read the file, and then it would need to write the file again. So there are at least 2 tool calls it needs to make. So hopefully this works. Yes, okay, more actually, because it's first doing an ls-la. It wants to execute sed okay. Oh, it's just using sed. Hope this works. Yeah, you can create a backup. I'm all good with it. So now it's clearly working that it's clear that it's working with multiple tool calls. That was the issue earlier where I expected that LLM to do only one tool call, like give me one iteration with all the tool calls, and then I just execute all the tool call. The next thing would be like me responding back to the tool call, which is not clearly true. So that's why you need a while loop here instead of just an if condition. Okay, it wants to write. I'm all okay with that. Yes, read again. I'm good. Now that it has written, let me just go ahead and check how's the thing. Yeah, it is hacker theme now. So I think it will be good. But I'm going to ask it to make one more edit. Make it rain ones and zeros in the background. Okay, so it should like actually do some kind of a matrix effect, right? So that's what I'm seeing. Let's see if it's able to edit the file again to make that come true. Okay, this time it did not actually edit the whole file. Rather, it is trying to apply a patch, right? It is saying that it is creating a patch and it is trying to apply a patch. I am very curious to see how this goes. Yes. Did it apply that patch? Oh, it is working. Like I see a background now, just that the ones and zeros are not coming up. Oh, it identified there is a bug. So I did not have to tell it there is a bug, but it itself identified there is a bug and it's trying to fix it now. That's great. That's how a coding agent should be. Okay, let me see. Perfect. Yeah, this is all that I asked for, and it gave me all. And I think I'm ready for my $1 billion evaluation. So yeah, high hopes. If this likes this video, like it. And if you don't like it, tell me why. And if you want me to build something new, let me know. See you again in another video.